Hey guys, it's Brent with the FSA podcast, founder and CEO of C4F, and I want to talk to you guys about what it's like to take a vacation, a completely unplugged vacation. I'm actually about to take my very first one. I'm going to show you how I prepped for this, how I mentally prepared for this, and how I delegated to my staff to allow me to do this. Before we get into all that, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, send to a friend. If you find the videos that I make helpful, they are 100% free. If you just hit that subscribe button, you'll get notified every single week when I drop a new video. And my intention is to make it better than the stuff you pay for. And from what I've heard, it is. Okay, so give it a shot. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. You'll never have to see my face again. Okay, so let's kick it off. I have been in business for almost 4 years now. Okay, which probably doesn't sound that crazy, but to be a successful business owner and to be profitable for 4 years straight, there's not been a single month where I've not been profitable for 4 straight years. I take that as a badge of honor. I think that's harder than people make it out to be. Being a business owner is no easy thing. And to have been profitable for 4 straight years, I'm very proud of that. Okay, so I do think I have a fair bit of knowledge when it comes to running a business, but I've also, for 2 years of that 4 years, we traveled full time. Okay, I don't know if I've told you guys this story for a long time. What Brooke and I always wanted was to travel the country, to experience, to live and see as much of it as we possibly can. We love hiking. We love outdoors. We love trying new food, new places, just experiencing everything that this beautiful country has to offer. And without going too hippie on you, here's a little bit of our story and then how I prep and delegate for vacations now, having learned what I learned on the road for 2 years. So what we did was we rented Furnished Finder. So I used this a lot when I was an ICU nurse way back in the day. We used Furnished Finder to find furnished homes, so we didn't have to pack couches and chairs and everything like that. Furnished homes, relatively cheap, and you could find really, really cool ones. Like we had like in-ground pools in the back, like a full oasis. We had beautiful, beautiful home on the lake in North Carolina on Lake Norman. So like you can find really cool places with this and not kill your budget. So what we did was when my business started to take off and Brooks was taking off, even ahead of mine at the time, we just were like, you know what? Let's just list the house. Let's just open the doors. Let's sell everything we don't immediately need, everything we can't fit in the back of my truck. We're going to sell it all. We put some things in storage, like some additional clothes and like a dresser and whatnot, but everything else, TVs, I had a full whiskey bar. We sold all the whiskey for next to nothing. Basically, we just had an estate sale and all neighbors and people came from around the town. They came, they offered whatever for everything. I didn't even have prices. I was like, just make an offer. Sold everything, sold the house. We did do well selling the house, thankfully. We put everything, some things in storage, everything else in the back of the truck that we needed immediately, and we hit the road. We went to Arizona, we went to North Carolina, we went to all over the place. Hawaii at one point for about a month, California for a month. So we've been all over the country just staying and popping around to different places, and that lifestyle is hard. That lifestyle is hard. I will not sugarcoat this, okay? Running a business, both of us running a business and moving nonstop became very difficult after a little while. Again, it was like a year and a half. It was almost 2 years. We bought our home here in Colorado. We absolutely love it. And now we're like normal people and we just take vacations. And I never thought I would be so excited about that. Like living on the road and being in a constant vacation mode, like riding Monday to Friday. And then every weekend was like a mini vacation, maybe like a Thursday to Sunday or a Friday to Sunday thing. And I felt like it started to, I know this is weird, it started to like almost desensitize us a little bit to vacations because we were just doing it nonstop. And while it was exciting and it was fun and we got to experience a ton, that excitement started to kind of take a step down each time. Each weekend was like something super cool, but it wasn't as exciting. And so living in a home and having our space and having being able to accumulate things and not living so minimalistic has actually been very, very fun. So all this to say, I promise I'm going to get to a point here. We have that genuine excitement for vacations again, but something I've never done is completely take off for a vacation. I'm always working in hotel rooms for a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And to be honest with you, I like that. Okay, so what I wanted to do first and foremost is dispel the idea that you cannot work on a vacation. A vacation should be 100% unplugged. You're not allowed to work, otherwise it was a failed vacation. That is subjective. That is an opinion. Okay. And for some people that may be true. For other people, at least like myself, that's not necessarily true. I have to be doing something. Okay. If you know me, I sit there and take screenshots of my Garmin all day. I am exercising 2-3 times a day in between and after work, constantly doing something. And so I like working a little bit on my vacation. So no, I've never had a completely unplugged vacation, and that's partially by design. Okay. So we're going to Hawaii again next week. Shorter instead of, for a month. We're only going for about 7 days this time. But here's how I have it planned. Okay. Hawaii is quite a few hours behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up around 4 a.m. I'm going to prep my day from 4 to 5. I'm going to have my first team meeting from 5 to 5:30. And then I have a coaching call, I think 6 to 7. So by 7 a.m., I've already had 3 hours of work in. And getting up at 4 a.m. is not hard in Hawaii. The sun comes out so early. It's beautiful weather. And I'm still in MST time zone. So if you guys have been to Hawaii, it's very easy to get up early and to just start the day. So 2-3 hours of work in the morning, and I'm done at 7 a.m. We hit a hike. We'll go to the beach. We'll get all the food, the poke, all the fresh stuff, and we'll go about our day. And then I'll do it again. And I genuinely enjoy that. Okay, so if you're going on vacations and you're stressing yourself out, like how am I going to completely take off work? You don't necessarily have to. Okay. For me, I enjoy it. If work stresses you the hell out and you absolutely need just like a total break from it, then schedule a break from it. Let your clients know ahead of time. Hey, I'm going to be unplugged for this week. I hope you can understand. Please send your check-ins early so I can get them back to you, the day before you leave. So you have everybody's check-ins done and dusted before you even go on vacation, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. The other thing is if you have a team, which I recommend growing a small team, being a solo coach is fine and it's great and it's profitable and it's fun. Having a small team is even better though, because you're still profitable. Things are still great. You have someone to bounce ideas off of, and you have someone to delegate to when you go on vacations or mini trips. Okay. So if you have a team, just do all your check-ins early if you have clients, and then let the clients know that they can refer to your teammate for questions throughout the week. Otherwise, you'll get to them in the morning and the evening. That's how I'm doing it at C4F. It's a little bit more challenging because Brooke is like my sidekick to C4F. We both take turns responding to messages, and we're both on vacation. So we're delegating it to another team member, Kelsey, and another team member, Darren, for like ads questions. So it's really nice to have and my assistant and things like that. So it's nice to have staff to be able to help you with these while you're enjoying yourself, so you don't have to stress, and then you can still get back to them at the end of the day, and you were still present with them, and they don't feel like they were left high and dry. Okay, so there is a fair bit of planning involved. Okay, number 2, right? So delegating and pre-planning is number 1. Number 2 is the importance of taking vacations. If you feel like you're in a point in your business where you absolutely cannot, like the business is too fragile that you can't take vacations, you can't take time off, I think that's indicative of a bigger problem, a lack of systems, a lack of the opportunity to delegate, a lack of real structure within your business. Okay, so that would indicate a slightly deeper problem. Maybe that's worth having a conversation with if you have an existing business coach, or if you need one, having that conversation with them to see like, hey, how can I structure my business around more of a lifestyle approach? Okay, so taking vacations, it allows you to just reset, refocus. I don't need to explain the concept of vacations to you, but what I will explain is the concept of appreciation when you get back. So one small thing that we do, like last week, and we went out, we camped in the mountains, absolutely no service, just us, nature, the dogs, friends, food, amazing, right? But I got awful sleep in my tent because there was a hailstorm. It got a little colder than we expected, which thankfully I had all the gear for, but it was just like all these like slight uncomfortable things made me appreciate my bed, my home, the roof over our heads, AC, heating, all the little things that when I get back to work and back to home, I appreciated everything 10 times more. So a vacation doesn't always have to be some tropical vacation. You can go out and do some camping. And camping, I think, is just right for the soul, and it's right to develop that certain level of appreciation when you get back to having all the amenities that we have in life. So little things to kind of reset, right? And build that appreciation again. Okay. So vacations don't always have to be some big, massive thing. It can be a small weekend trip. And they don't always have to be camping. They could be a trip where you stay in a hotel, because I know every time I stay in a hotel, I just appreciate everything else I have at home so much more. So get out and get away and go do things that make you maybe even slightly uncomfortable. I think that's a very important thing in life and in business, because in business, we deal with that all the time, right? We sign our life away to uncomfortable, uncertain feelings, and that is totally normal. Okay. The next is to just mute your phone. Okay. Whether it's Slack, it's WhatsApp, just put it on Do Not Disturb, mute it, and have specific times that you respond. Like I said, morning and evening, I think are very fair if you're still responding to people twice a day while on vacation. One, you don't feel like a POS for taking time off. And two, your clients still feel like, holy smokes, like this person's so dedicated. That's amazing. If you don't do it, fine. Just set that precedent. Okay. For me, I like to do it. Okay. Trusting your team, empowering, delegating. If you have that opportunity to delegate to a team member, great. If you have team members and you don't feel like you can delegate, that's also indicative of maybe another problem, maybe a lack of structure, a lack of SOPs, a lack of understanding as far as their role goes, and maybe a lack of, I would say, responsibility. Slowly giving them more responsibility so that they do feel comfortable doing this. They do feel compensated, things like that. So building out, again, those systems and SOPs to be able to delegate to your team. And then finally, coming back after vacation. Sometimes coming back after vacation can be really difficult. It's no different than taking maybe like a diet break for a weekend, then coming back to macros on Monday. That can be a little bit hard. So that's why I think a lot of coaches will probably say something similar to this. Like, hey, if you're going to have a weekend off, just be conscious. Like, don't go so crazy, because it makes it harder to get back on the horse on Monday, right? And we're fighting kind of out of maybe a bit of not a deficit, but we're fighting out of maybe some excess calories that we didn't totally need. So just be conscious of it. Same with vacation. If you go so hard, okay, and you just go crazy and you're overindulging and you're drinking a ton, you're working zero, you completely unplugged, like your business is all the way over here, you're all the way over here. For some people that can work out. For me, I know I would stress out and feel like I would have a really hard time coming back to work. So having just little small doses of work mixed in with the vacation, not overindulging, but still kind of maintaining a structure. Having fun, relaxing, but within reason, makes transitioning back into normal life so much easier. So again, practice what we preach. What we tell our clients is typically can be manipulated in a positive way for ourselves and the way that we live our own lives. So again, hope this is helpful. It's just a super quick kind of brain dumping, a small vacation guide. Again, it's worked out for me for the past 4 years. This will be my first vacation where like I'm not taking set calls. There are no calls. I'm just responding via Slack, and that's a big step for me, and I'm very excited. So hope this helps, guys. Take care. Have fun. Schedule vacations. Don't be so serious. This business is a vehicle for the life you want to live. This business should not be like a prison sentence.